Hey team, how you doing? How we doing in this place? Nice to see you. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been in here. I've been taking some time to myself and wanted to dive in today to talk about all of the SHIT that seems to be hitting the fan with so many people. And I don't know if you are a woman or if you hang out with women like this who are saying things like, the old way just isn't working anymore, or everything feels like it's breaking down, or I can't keep doing it the same way in my business, in my marriage, in how it is that I parent, in how it is that I do my relationship with my mother-in-law, whatever it might be. If you're in that place where it feels like shit's just breaking down, like it's just not working the way that you want it to, the way that you know that it could, then now is the time for you to deeply uplevel so that you can be part of the new paradigm that's being birthed. Hi, Cindy. Nice to see you here, my former neighbor in Mexico. This is an initiatory time in my perspective. And what that means is we're being invited into a new paradigm for how it is that we want to do life, for how it is that we want to do love, for how it is that we want to fully express who we are. And I'm using this word very deliberately, want. What do you want? Most of us, when we come face to face with our wants, what happens is immediately we say what we can't have, right? Well, I want to have a more flexible schedule, but I can't because of. Or I want to have a more loving relationship, but that's not going to happen because of, right? And the truth is, it's not going to happen because if you continue to live by the old paradigm, which is scarcity, lack, fear, anxiety, creating evidence to support why it is it's not going to happen, it won't ever happen, period. You will be right. And our ego likes to be right. So our ego is going to find evidence to identify why it is that you're right and how it is that you cannot have the life that you want. And I feel like this is such an important and critical time for us, and an exciting time for those of us who are adventurous and who've always felt like, I don't quite belong in this very normal world. Like, I want things to be different. This is our moment to expand our wings, to open ourselves more fully into creating the new paradigm, because the old paradigms are not working. And some of you have reached out to me in the past and said, do I do private work? Do I still work in the traditional ways of therapists? And I don't. The only people who I work with privately and right now in small groups are women who've gone through my relationship mastery course, either with me in that online forum or through a self-study course. And I'm going to be offering that again for 48 hours at a really special price. And the reason why I reserve my time for women who are engaging or who have engaged in that curriculum is because that curriculum guides you to owning your own stuff so that you're not projecting it out onto everybody around you. Because when you're projecting all of your stuff, your shadow, your shit out to everybody around you, what happens is we end up spending all of our time talking about how it is that they shouldn't be doing X, Y, or Z, right? Notice how that's kind of a parallel to what's happening in the world, how we can get so angry that X, Y, or Z is happening. Why is that happening? It shouldn't be happening, right? And the truth is, it is happening, but I'm going to get more enraged about it. And I'm going to lose my footing. And if you've been here for the last several months, you've heard me talk about this a lot, that whatever owns you emotionally owns you, has you by the huevos, right? Is holding on to you. You just gave up your freedom. You gave up your power to whatever the story is, the narrative is, the crisis cycle is that's out there. It doesn't mean that we can't have feelings about it, right? I have all of my normal human feelings about what's happening in the world. They don't own me. I witness them. I pay attention to them. And then I consciously decide how it is that I'm going to choose to show up in my life, knowing that what I amplify grows. So if I amplify the crisis cycle of what's happening in the world, that's just going to grow and more people talk about it. And it just becomes something that feels like we can't get out from under. There are ways to talk about what's happening in your marriage, with your parenting, with your business, with the economy, without it devolving into blaming, overwhelm, shaming. Because all of those old ways are going to get us the old way. And it didn't work, and it hasn't worked, and it's not working. And so I feel very impassioned to be leading groups of women who are ready to untangle from the toxic old systems because they don't work. And they're not bad. We've just outgrown them, which is why this is an initiatory moment. So if you're here live, let me know if this is making any sense to you. Drop your thumbs up or yes, or I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Jenny. If you're here on replay, #replay, and let me know what's coming up for you. And if this is relevant. And so in this group, I renamed this group, It Is All About You, because you get to live the way that you want. And no, it's not selfish. It's not selfish to live the way that you want. It's actually totally aligned. And when you start living in a way that's in total alignment with you, you know what happens? You want the best for everyone because you feel good. And when I feel good and I have goodness running through me, listen to that again. When I have joy and appreciation running through me, that's a way of nurturing myself. It feels good. It is nourishment. And when I have that running through me, I want other people to feel that too. Similarly, if I have guilt, shame, blame, anger, hatred running through me, that is toxic waste for me. Doesn't mean I can't be passionate. We're all passionate about issues, right? You can be passionate. You can be fired up. You can feel fury and anger, right? That helps to wake me up. I can have all of that without having blame, shame, darkness, not darkness, but I want to punch somebody in the face. I want to do someone wrong, right? You don't need that because when that runs through your being, that's running through your being. It's like toxic waste to your system. Priscilla's here. Thank you, Priscilla, Jen, Cindy. Gotta run. Great. Come back later, dear. Chris. Oh, I'm so glad for the recenter. Yeah. Sometimes we need a recenter, right? That's why I do what I do now. And, we meet often every month because we do need this recentering because we are in this really crazy, powerful time right now where we're being invited over and over again. Who are you going to be now? Who are you going to be now? Who are you going to be now? And it's like getting pummeled by waves. And so to link arms and to be in community with one another matters tremendously. And it's why I'm shifting so much of my programming right now. One, because I'm coming more in alignment with myself. And I've been pretty transparent behind the scenes with the women who I mentor that, I started this online business 4 years ago, and it's been amazing and so incredibly successful. And I also was following a paradigm that was really successful externally, and it was not as successful emotionally and internally for me. And so I'm shifting things really dramatically, and it feels very exciting and very adventurous and scary because when we do something new, we don't know what we're going to get. And I don't know what I'm going to get, right? Because I'm not following a model, any model that somebody else has. You know what I'm doing? I'm following my own heart and I'm following what feels right for me. And I have some strategy because I've been in the business world for 20 years. I've run my own businesses for a very long time, but I'm really deeply listening. And so as you hear me come in here, moving forward, I want you to know I don't have a coach on my shoulder. I don't have anybody telling me what to sell or how to do it. I'm listening here. I'm doing the thing that I'm inviting all of you to do in your life, which is listen deep in to the knowing. And as I have been doing this for a very long time, this isn't new to me, but I'm stepping out on it more and more and more. I've always lived that way in my personal life, but to put my business there feels a little like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Right. And so part of my commitment is to create spaces for women that you can step into so that you don't feel so alone in this initiatory moment. And those spaces are not spaces to complain about the stuff that's happening in the world. And not because I don't think that's important. I think it is incredibly relevant in how it is that it shows up who you are. I'm going to say that again in a different way to make sure you get it. Whatever's happening external to you is happening to show you who you are. So when you hear about whatever the crisis is today, because they change every day, and you have a reaction, that's showing you who you are. If you have a response, that's showing you something different, right? So that my original foundational curriculum, that's now 10 weeks, and it's online and it's a self-study course, that course walks you through step by step how to engage in life in such a way that you're able to be aware and awake to your reactions and turn them into conscious responses so that you can be a conscious, what I call woman of substance. I used to call a grown-ass woman in this life. Because when you are a woman of substance and you are awake and aware of what's happening around you and how it is that it's potentially going to activate you, right? Then you can actually do something on this planet. You can actually do something with your life. Otherwise, what is happening when we're not awake to what's going on internally and how externally we're getting pulled in different ways, right? Because we're just reacting and I'm angry and I can't believe this and this is ridiculous and people are stupid and that side, right? When you're doing that, you're just pushing furniture around a burning house and nothing's going to change, right? Because you're just doing the thing that everybody else is doing. And I choose to reserve my time to work with women who aren't perfect at it. None of us are perfect. I'm not perfect, but who are aware. I am activated. I recognize this. I am paying attention to the old story that I am participating in. Because then our groups are really deep. They're really deep. I just finished the Shimmer Your Shadow Salon that I did for the first time this year, and I am going to open it again later on this year. It was such a deep, profound, conscious group of 8 women who, although we had, a Telegram channel where they could check in all the time, what they're checking in on is not drama in their lives. What they're checking in about is what's happening in their heart and what they're noticing about themselves. These are up-leveled spaces for women who want to go there, who want deeper relationships, where we're not talking garbage about the other side. That is not what we do. That's not the best version of ourselves. That's not allowing our highest version to live. So I know I'm kind of coming in hot today. It's really good to be here. It's been, I've been a little dormant the last couple of weeks as I've been taking care of myself. And if you are not on my email list, make sure to get on my email list. I'm going to open the self-study course for another 48 hours beginning tomorrow morning at really the lowest price I've ever offered it at. And I encourage you to step in if this is something that you feel called to do. All of those women who step in during this time, as well as all the women who have completed the course or who are currently in it, will be invited into a small group to work with me later on this summer, early this fall, so that we can have some time to really get to know each other and to help you stay aligned during this really important initiatory moment as you're creating new ways to do your life, your family, your entrepreneurial endeavor, your work life, everything, right? Because everything is becoming new. And I believe you need to be new too. The reason why it's hard to do it on our own is because when I do it on my own, I am going to drop back into the most dominant emotional frequency that I'm most practiced at when stuff gets hard. And if you have an external community to not, I don't even want to say help you. It's not even about helping because I'm not helping anybody. I'm available because I hold this frequency, man. You can feel it. This is like, it's who I am, right? So I just hold this energy. And so when women come into my field and I'm holding this energy, they can like relax a little bit, and you don't have to hold it. You don't have to do all the heavy lifting on your own, right? It makes it easier. And that's part of my dream is as women, we get to do it elegantly, beautifully, and easily. Because why not? You know, life throws enough stuff at us that's going to be challenging. And when those challenges come, it stretches us. Amazing. But we can set up our life in the way we want it. You get to have it the way that you want it. So I'll be posting some of those invitations in this space as well. Again, I'll have the group open for 48 hours at that special price. I'm calling it, it's like, I forget, something like free yourself, because you got to free yourself from the internal old programming, the internal unhealthy patriarchy inside of you, where you're putting yourself down, you're bullying yourself. You know, you say you want this other thing, but then mean daddy part of you comes up internally and is like, you want too much. You should be happy with what you have. Well, you don't have it as bad as other people. That voice has got to go. That voice is not part of the future paradigm. And that course that I'm going to offer again at the lowest price that I ever have is going to be available to you to do that, because it feels so important for me to make it available that you do it now. Okay, so 48 hours starting tomorrow. I'll post it in here as well, the link. I'll also post the link to get on my list. If you have any friends who you feel like could benefit from this, please share this with them. This is part of my service to the world, that I'm here to be a way shower. I'm here to lead women. That's what I do. That's what I came here to do. And women like Chris, I love that you wrote, yes, we can. Yes, we can. And we are, right? Ashley said, I'd like to be a part of that next opening. Of course you would. Nice to see you as well. Beautiful, Ashley. I'm glad that you're here. It's a really, really important time. And I am excited to have the opportunity to be a leader in this space with you all. So thank you so much for being here. Keep an eye on this page, or again, get on my email list, share it with a friend that you know maybe is struggling and needs that really good scaffolding as she walks through how it is that she's going to participate in her own personal freedom. Freedom doesn't come out here. Freedom comes in here. And when I know I'm free in here, it's because I'm not giving my power away to anything, right? Because I'm sovereign. I have the power internally. So thanks so much for being here. Again, if you're here on replay, #replay, let me know any comments that you might have, any questions, and I will look forward to seeing you again soon. Take good care.